Realocha and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Polo Matlala and this is my very first ever YouTube video. I've been thinking about joining the YouTube family for quite some time, but because of this and that, I've just been procrastinating, and just giving myself excuses not to. I think one other reason was that I just wanted to be sure as to whether I'm ready to take on this and also be clear as to what I want to do. So since this is the first ever video, I thought that we should get to know each other, and I'll give you a brief background about where I'm from and all those things. And please, when you do watch this video, please let me know who you are and let's just get to know each other. This is like our first date. I've introduced myself as Polo Matlala, but people know me as Lerato Matlala. I'll get to why I'm using the Polo Matlala name. So I was born here in the Vaal, in a place called Everton. But Everton. That's where I was born in 1989, and I was born at home. And but from then on, I started my primary school here in the Vaal, grade 1 and 2 at Gito Primary School. And then my grandmother, Polo, passed on. So Polo used to live in Hammanskraal, and following her death, that's when as the family we moved to Hammanskraal. And yeah, I consider Hammanskraal home to me because that's where everything happened. When we left for Hammanskraal, I was around 6 years. I was in grade 2, going to standard 1 at the time, which is grade 3 now. And yeah, we moved, and the move, it was confusing. So let me tell you a little bit about my grandmother's passing. My uncle Ramol Osi came. We were living in Everton at that time, and he came and told us about the news of my grandmother dying. And then during that week, we left for the funeral. The funeral, there were two things about the funeral that were confusing to me, right? So first thing first. So my grandmother has a sister. We call her Kuku Matapelo. I had not met Kuku Matapelo before. So Kuku Matapelo looks exactly like my grandmother, guys. So I get there, we've been told that my grandmother has passed on, but here is this person who looks exactly like my grandmother. So I was quite confused as to what was happening, and I asked my dad about it. And I remember him just laughing it off and not wanting to address it, right? But after a while, I kept on pestering him. Why atana le Kuku? And Kuku has passed on. And here is this person who looks exactly like my grandmother. And she acts like my grandmother as well. So eventually my dad explains that Kuku Matapelo is the sister to my grandmother. And Kuku Matapelo was confusing a whole lot of people because those that had not met her by that time were really confused as to who is this person, and she was making a lot of people cry. Anyway, the second thing, again, guys, I kind of believed that when people pass on, they're buried and they come back. So we get to the funeral, everything is happening, people are crying, but I'm so confused as to why are people crying, because this person is going to come back. We are going to bury her and she's going to come back. So why are they crying so much? I was confused, and I ended up crying not because I understood why they were crying, but because it's my loved ones and everyone around me was crying. Right, fine, we bury Kuku. After burying Kuku, my cousins and I, Kuzimang, Lenkele, we went to the park, and we were just having our time together. And I was starting to worry because it was getting late, right? And I'm thinking to myself, oh, okay, we have buried that person. So why is she not coming back now? Because she's supposed to be coming back. That's what I believed. And no one told me about it. I just don't know where I got it from, right? So I was getting anxious about the whole situation, but I was not communicating this to anyone. Anyway, we go to the park, we come back, it's getting late, I'm worried, and like I can see that people around me, no one is asking anything about Gogo as to her whereabouts and how far she is from coming back, right? But eventually I realized that, it's like, okay, so she's not coming back. So that's when I started realizing that, okay, my grandmother is no more, and this is what it means. And I think for some time I cried for some time, because that's when it really dawned on me, and that's when I started understanding what that meant, why people were crying in the morning, and why everything happened the way it did. But anyway, yeah, that was the death of my grandmother, and that's what prompted the move as a family, because my father is the last born of the family. They decided that he will be the one who takes care of the house in Hammanskraal, and that's how we moved from the Vaal to Hammanskraal. And another thing that was so confusing about the whole thing was that at that time my dad was working in the Vaal, and I didn't know that we were going to live alone with my mom, and he would be coming around getting fortnight in 3 weeks. So when he gets his long weekend, that's when he would come home. So that was another dimension to the whole thing. But I think after some time, I got used to the fact that it was just us and my mom. And yeah, Hammanskraal, hi man, I was happy because in Everton, my parents were renting and neredula ko standing. But then in Hammanskraal, it was a house, it was bigger, and the yard, Hammanskraal has land, guys. Hammanskraal has land. So yeah, that was the move, and yeah, I quite enjoyed being in Hammanskraal, except for the fact that I had to go to Renele Primary School, which is a story for another day. I didn't enjoy my primary school days at all, at all. There was just a whole lot of what I would consider abuse. Yeah, nerebetiwa, but nerebetiwa. But yeah, that was it. And I did my high school at Maketi High School in Rockville, Temba. It was like the nice, like good old days, where you didn't worry about the inflation rate. You didn't worry about the direction of the economy, where it's going. It was just good old days. So going back to why I chose to use Polo, I think that my grandmother was such a bubbly personality. She was a strong woman. She was very independent. And I think it is with that spirit that I want to start this journey. Like just that thing, she was full of life, man. She was full of life, and that's exactly the energy that I want. And yeah, that's why I decided to use her name. Yeah, I've been thinking about this for years, but I don't like starting things for the sake of starting them. I like just giving myself time to think, and sometimes it takes a while, and sometimes it's not such a good idea. I'm an overthinker, but I also don't like starting things and then just leave them hanging there. But anyway, so yeah, finished my high school and went and studied media, and I've been in the media industry for 10 years now. Yeah. And I'm tired. Yeah. Gained a lot of experience. And I've got stories to tell, stories that, hey, we'll talk about another time. This is just an intro. I can't start complaining now, you know. So what you can expect from this channel, yo guys, now I'm a simple person, right? And I love storytelling, and it's not just only about me, but other people's stories as well. I'd really like to share that, and I'd like to share my own experience, my own life experiences, what I went through, with the hope that someone would learn, you know. And I also look forward to hearing your stories, so that we learn, we educate each other, so that we don't fall into the same pitfalls. And I think I'm also starting this, actually not think, I know that I'm starting this as a way of returning to, you know, there's a book called A Return to Love. Yes, I just don't remember the author, right? I think that's a perfect title for what I'm doing right now. I'm just going back to the things that I love. I think I've spent so much time doing other things, trying out other things. And right now, for me, it's just going back to my cocoon and just enjoying life for what it is. And you know, going back to the things that I love. I love reading, and it's something that I've not been doing much of because of work commitments and other commitments outside work. I've just not been able to do that. But I think with the YouTube channel, I'll be able to read, so that we review some books, man, and talk about the books, man, and talk about the authors, you know. I think I've told you enough about myself, ne? I don't go into too much, man. Give a state. You know, Setswana sere kgomo ga e ntshe boloko jo jotlhe. Like, I won't give you everything all at once, but I'll reveal myself as we go. Since this is our first date, I'll reveal myself. Hanyane, hanyane. You'll get to know me. So yeah, that is it from me. Here's to more videos, more book reviews, more, I don't want to say it, more traveling, guys. You know, the price of petrol is, yeah, it's gone down ka 2 rand something, yeah. Let it go to 15 rand, then we can negotiate. Let's experience life together and enjoy our lives, enjoy our hours here, because we won't be here forever. I want my children and my grandchildren to be able to watch this video when I'm gone one day and know who their grandmother or great grandmother was. And yeah, that is why I'm starting this, and that is why I'm saying that, yeah, we're going to have fun, a whole lot of fun. So until the next video, be safe, be kind, and take care of yourself.